Hello and welcome to the British Accent Podcast, the space where we learn English with clarity, confidence, and compassion. I'm so glad you're here.
Today's episode is called, Be Kind to Yourself, Language Learning is Not a Race. Because sometimes, the pressure to be perfect or fast can make us forget that learning a language is not just about speed or achievement, it's about growth, connection, and self-trust.
Have you ever felt like you're falling behind? Like everyone else is improving faster than you? That you're not doing enough? If so, this episode is especially for you.
We'll explore how to slow down, how to speak to yourself with kindness, and why learning English is not a race, but a journey. One where every step, no matter how small, still counts.
So take a deep breath. Let's release the pressure and talk about how to build a healthier, more forgiving relationship with your learning.
We often forget that learning a language isn't something you rush. It's not like cramming for an exam or racing to the finish line. It's more like planting a tree. Seedling, you water it, give it sunlight, and trust that it's growing, even if you can't see the change every day.
Exactly. But social media, comparison, and pressure can make it feel like you're behind. You see someone speaking fluently, and suddenly you question yourself. Why am I not there yet? Am I doing enough? Am I good enough?
Those thoughts are normal. But they are not always true. Everyone's language journey is different, because everyone's life is different. Some people have more time. Some have more exposure. Some started earlier. That doesn't mean you're failing. It just means your path is your own.
Let's try something. Think back to when you first started learning English. Maybe you couldn't say more than a few words. Maybe you were too afraid to speak. Now think about today. You understand this podcast. You've grown. You've changed. And even if it's slow, it's real.
We tend to celebrate big wins, passing a test, having a full conversation. But progress also lives in the quiet moments. When you understand a word without translating. When you write a full sentence on your own. When you don't give up after a mistake.
So if you feel tired, or behind, or like you're not enough, pause. Take a breath. You're doing more than you think. And it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to learn slowly. It's okay to rest.
The goal isn't to finish. The goal is to grow. Kindly. Gently. Steadily. And on your terms.
Because learning English isn't just about fluency.
Sometimes, we confuse effort with pressure. We think that if we're not pushing ourselves hard, we're not really trying. But effort doesn't always look like grinding for hours. Sometimes, it's simply showing up, even on the days when you feel low.
Yes, some of the most powerful progress happens quietly. On the day you listened to a podcast while washing dishes. On the night you wrote a short sentence in your journal, even when your mind was tired. On the moment you chose not to give up, even if your confidence was shaken.
Language learning is also emotional. It touches your identity, your voice, your confidence. That's why kindness is not optional, it's essential. Without it, the journey becomes heavy. With it, the journey becomes human.
And being kind to yourself doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means supporting yourself while you rise. It means saying, it's okay if I'm not fluent yet, while still working toward your goals. It means being your own coach, not your own critic.
You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to be the best. You just have to stay connected to your why. Why did you start learning English? What does it mean to you? What kind of life are you building with it?
Because when you remember your why, the pressure fades a little. You stop chasing someone else's path, and you start honoring your own.
So if today all you did was listen to this podcast, that's enough. If you took one small step, that's enough. If you're still here, still trying, still dreaming, then you are, absolutely, enough.
Your pace is perfect. Your journey is valid. And you are learning more than just a language. You are learning how to be gentle with yourself again.
Let's do something simple together. Just breathe. In through your nose, and out through your mouth. Again. In and out. Sometimes, that's all your brain needs, to slow down, to feel safe, to reset.
Now, imagine this. What if you spoke to yourself the way a kind teacher would? What if, when you made a mistake, instead of saying, "I'm so bad at this," you said, "I'm learning, and that's okay"?
Words shape us, especially the ones we say to ourselves. And in language learning, self-talk becomes part of the experience. So today, try shifting that voice inside. Let it be gentle. Let it be honest. Let it be on your side.
Let's say a few phrases together, just quietly, to yourself, or out loud if you'd like. I'm allowed to learn at my own speed. Making mistakes is part of learning. My progress is real, even when it feels slow. I am enough, just as I am.
If you ever feel overwhelmed, come back to those words. Let them ground you. Let them remind you that this journey isn't about perfection, it's about persistence, compassion, growth.
And remember, learning English is not separate from who you are. It's part of your life story now. Every word you learn, every sentence you try, is a step forward, not just in language, but in becoming who you want to be.
This is not a race. You're not late. You're not behind. You're becoming. Slowly. Kindly. Steadily.
Let's take a moment to reflect, not on what you haven't done, but on everything you have. Think back. When was the first time you tried to speak English out loud? How did it feel? Maybe you were nervous. Maybe you laughed. Maybe you hesitated, but you did it. That matters.
You've already come farther than you realize. Maybe you can now understand full podcasts without subtitles. Maybe you wrote a short message in English this week. Maybe you understood a joke. Maybe you taught someone else a new word. These aren't small things, they are signs of growth.
The brain needs rest to learn. The heart needs kindness to stay brave. You can't force fluency. You invite it, patiently, by showing up, by making space, by trusting that it will come.
So when you feel stuck, ask yourself, what do I need today? Do you need quiet? Do you need encouragement? Do you need a light moment with a funny video or a familiar song? Whatever it is, it's okay to pause. To choose peace over pressure.
Because real learning happens when you're calm, when you feel safe enough to explore, to try, to fall a little and rise again. Not when you're scared. Not when you're comparing. Not when you're exhausted.
So let go of the timeline. Let go of the idea that you're too slow. You're not. You're learning in your way, in your time, and in your own beautiful rhythm.
Your journey doesn't have to look like anyone else's. You don't need to speak like a native, memorize 10,000 words, or pass every test to be valid. You're already enough, just by being here. Still listening. Still open.
So today, wherever you are in your English journey, whether you're just beginning or you've been learning for years, remember this, you don't have to rush. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going, kindly.
Speak with courage, study with patience, and most importantly, treat yourself like someone you're trying to help, not someone you're trying to fix. You are not broken. You are growing.
Thank you for spending this gentle moment with us. If this episode helped you feel a little lighter, a little kinder to yourself, we'd love for you to share it with someone else who might need the same reminder.
And don't forget, new episodes from the British Accent Podcast drop every week. For calm, clear, and meaningful English learning that feels like a conversation with a friend, make sure to follow and turn on the bell.
Until next time, keep learning, keep breathing, and most of all, be kind to yourself. Yellow heart.